Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I am still here with Rocky.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. No, just not by choice, I'm forced. Because we have to finish what we started in the previous one. So
I believe that I'm making this whole thing a lot more fun.
yeah, fun. For some definition of the word fun. So we got here, and I think, well, yeah, this built. But there's one other thing that the tests, this is obviously not a CS prod file. So we're going to have to, do you use MS Test or XUnit or NUnit?
MS Test.
Okay. I don't think that should really matter. Though, no, I didn't want to do that there. What I did want to do is say here is, so blah, blah, blah. What I really care about is,
See, when you're on stage or doing videos and you use keyboard shortcuts, nobody knows what you did.
yeah, but, you know, Jeff Fritz, I noticed he's got something that when he does that, he's got some add-in that pops up and just like shows for a couple seconds what were the keystrokes he just did.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, how cool is that?
I got to ask him tomorrow, what is that?
That is a good idea.
Yeah, so, because
Then you could be training people on all of your super secret keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah, that are documented in Visual Studio. This is actually interesting. Why doesn't it actually show MS Test here? So, okay, so you must have a test project because you obviously write unit tests.
That's correct.
So where are they?
It's called CSLA.test. Go down there, and I'll go up.
But is this an SDK CS project?
I'm sure this proj file is ancient.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, we're just going to make a new dummy one here because the best code that you can write is code you can copy. So, right?
I don't argue with that at all.
No, you shouldn't. There's got to be a dot. See, here's the thing. You have to pick. You can't say like it's a .NET standard because if it's a test project, it has to actually be a runtime.
So it has to be .NET Core or
right.
something. Yeah, right.
So we'll say MS Test project.
Well, and you can do .NET because I have both actually. So that CSLA test project is, like I said, ancient. There is a new one, which I don't remember what it's called, but there's a CSLA test core. Anyway, there are some. I've started doing.
There's a .NET Core test one.
That's
there.
the one. Yep.
Okay.
So that's the new one, which reruns a number of the tests. In fact, a lot of the tests actually get run twice, once in each runtime.
Right. Which, if you use target frameworks, and if you used, well, this is interesting. I think if you use the .NET test tool, is it smart enough to, even though that's a .NET Core tool, does it look at your target frameworks and say, oh, you picked one and the other one? I think it actually is.
You think so?
I think that's something you could.
Well, if it would make my life easier, I might have to try that at some point.
Yeah, because I'm going to keep it we're going to just use .NET Core and just use that because it really shouldn't matter. But that is something to keep in mind. I think, and I don't think, this is actually a question we could ask tomorrow of somebody in the test team. If you have a test project where you're testing multiple frameworks and you said run all tests within Visual Studio.
Would it run them twice?
Would it run them twice for each
Because I actually want it to run them twice. That's,
right. Just to make sure the frameworks that you're targeting, but just to have it all as one. And if it's only for 2019, if it's like a new feature coming in 2019, fine. But would it do that?
Yeah, right.
So we have to make a note. We should talk to the team now. But for tonight, why do you have this extension configuration? I don't think I need that. I think I'll just need this. Just these three, and then put that in there. And I don't need...
Oh, the reason I do is because I have tests that are testing configuration stuff.
Right, which I don't.
Yep.
Okay, so, and then the project reference, I'll need to actually reference my analyzer project. Okay, so let's do this. Let's come back out of here, and we'll unload it. And then we'll say edit, and we'll come over here and grab this, and then we'll tweak it as needed. So I think I just said, that's space, that's awful. These can go away. This actually needs to be up one, and why are you, oh, that. Up one, CSLA analyzers, yeah. And users, and then the project name. And then these can go away. And then all this could go away. God, how did we ever live with such a crappy CS project?
For years.
I know.
Years.
Uphill both ways at school. It was just awful. So, look at that. It's just sweetness.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah, it
so
is.
much better.
And then, it probably won't work because, as we noticed, it's referencing this 4.6 one, but we can probably fix that. Sure, close it. So you loaded it. And then it's probably going to eventually have to load all that stuff. Projects. Got the analyzers one, which is good. So let's say build this, and what does it fail? Yeah, it's going to fail a lot. Use pattern matching. Sure. Oh. Crap. Okay. So we're going to do it old school web style. We're going to come. Look at that.
I know.
CSLA it's actually Bootstrap, I think.
I think it is. It's some of the sample apps. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to fix that. Your stuff isn't secure.
My sample apps are not secure.
So we're just going to look at this.
Oh, there's a work item in the CSLA backlog for that. It's some use of iframe. That is the problem. From some, actually, it might even be in some unit tests that are using iframe, or I don't remember. But
I think all I need to do is I need to grab these. I forgot because.
Oh, so here's my plug though. If anybody wants to help out with CSLA, they could help me fix those issues.
Yeah, they could. I forgot that. Because they need the analyzer stuff as well.
Yep. So. And beta though, really?
I did. So when I ran through this and said new test project, I even did this last night, and you go in there, it's still pulling in these beta 4 ones.
Interesting.
We can take those off once we see if this works or not. Okay, did that do anything?
But we'd still think the build will fail, right?
But hopefully less. Yeah, like business space. It doesn't know what those are.
Sure. Yep. And that's because it's pulling in an old .NET framework DLL. So you got to remove that project and add the CSLA net standard.
So let's say add existing project, and that would be in source and
it would be called CSLA.net standard 2. Yep.
All right. So we'll come back to this one. Oh, I added the project to the solution. I didn't say...
we didn't update the reference yet. Yep.
And by we mean me.
Well, you're the keyboard monkey, right?
Yeah. So I say add reference to a project. That one. Now. Okay, but we're down to 5 now.
Oh, that's good.
So let's get rid of the warnings and the errors. Oh, and this is the same thing we had before, duplicate things and stuff.
Oh, yep.
This stuff. So we'll just grab all that. And then edit this. Those go right there, if I remember right.
I think that's right.
Shift that. So that actually works. Use stereotype. Does that implement it? If only we had default interface members. If only we could be using C#8 right now.
Would C#8 just fix that for us?
If you did default interface members,
interesting.
Because you probably changed.
Probably
identity.
added a new item to identity, I would guess.
Yeah. So, what was this complaining about? Does not implement interface member iBusinessObject-identity. Sure. What the hell is this?
Oh, it has to do with the way that CSLA now lets you do cool stuff. Yes, it returns an internal unique identifier for each object instance so that it's possible to merge one object graph with another one.
Oh yeah, that thing. I remember we did was that last year here at Summit?
Actually,
you
it was.
Put it on the big screen.
It was.
And I was sitting on the bed and criticizing all your crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, too bad we didn't record that. That was actually quite fun.
It was. Default literal is not available. Oh, so here is a thing that you should be thinking about too, which is in these project files, you can be saying lang version. And right now it's just defaulting to 7.0.
Uh-huh.
In 7.2, I believe, or one of the point releases, you don't have to say, if it can infer that's the default of an int, it basically is giving you a nice little shortcut to say, nah, you don't need that. You can just say default. But because it's saying I'm using the current latest version, but not a point release.
So I haven't quite turned on all the syntactic sugar.
Right. So right, well, yeah. So what I'm saying is I always say lang version latest, I think. So that if I get a new version...
Oh, so that when it goes to 8, it'll just automatically upgrade me?
No, well, not right now. Because with 8, I think you actually... There's a blog post that they said about this. It doesn't actually just go boom and say 8 right now. You actually have to...
opt in.
Yeah, so for the purposes of this, we'll just say default event, which is just 0, which I could have just said that too, But this feels more flexible.
I cannot argue with you there.
If I could actually spell the damn thing. So, okay, so now if it said build this, it should build. It should build.
Any moment now.
Yeah. Okay, now that build. Let's build everything. Build the whole project. The VSManifest must contain a path. Really?
Something to do with the V6?
Yeah.
Well, why do we need the V6 thing again?
Well...
Oh, because that's how you test this.
Yeah.
You use the V6 to install it.
Right. So, did I take notes on this? The problem is that...
But you really wouldn't have to, because you could just push all this into a... like when I'm testing CSLA, I build everything... I build the new specs into a packet, into a directory. So I've got all of the NuGet packages, and then that directory, I have Visual Studio aim at that as a source for NuGet.
True. I'm just saying for this, it's really easy when you do this, assuming it would actually work, which it did. But then I can just say, set a startup, boom, run. It does a whole new instance of Visual Studio with the analyzer installed.
And a debugger?
If you want to launch it in debugger, it doesn't matter. If you launch it in debugger, then it also attaches to that. So it's a really easy way to do like a quick integration test locally.
Okay.
The problem is because when we did that upgrade, I bet something broke in it.
Well, there was one yellow thing on that web page that you closed.
Yeah, I know. On purpose, because we didn't do it. So what is the error? The VX... So, close. To the bings, right? Because that's how everybody does stuff.
Well, this has a promising first sentence.
Yep. So I included that in voila, composer. So here's the XML section. So we're probably going to have to do unload all the
See, this is
badness.
why I always have Visual Studio and VS Code open in the same folder or directory all the time. So that when I have to do this, I just switch to VS Code, change everything, and then Visual Studio complains, and it's like, oh, the file changed out from under me. Should I reload it? And I say yes, and then that's all good.
So it says, the core editor's default prerequisites should almost always be included. So including all the VS compiles. And here's my XML section for my VSManifest. Prerequisites. Well, where does that go? Is that like a... So that's the thing, it doesn't tell you...
Yeah, we're into which context does this go, right?
Right.
Yep.
I don't want to poke. That's package manifest. Oh, am I looking at the wrong thing? I think I am.
I think so. I don't see any package manifesty things here.
Yeah. Is there... And of course, I'm not an extensibility expert at all in the slightest. Oh yeah, this file. There we go. That looks better-ish. Okay, so it said package manifest, and then she's like going ... And then you want to say prerequisites. This person said that all you need to do
is add that one or 3 lines, basically, huh?
Yeah. So I really didn't need to unload the project. I was editing the wrong file. Okay, now let's rebuild everything. And now it got worse. Installation element, metadata element, dependencies, assets. Holy shite. This is a big pain in the butt.
You got your assets in a bunch now.
Yeah, I do. Didn't like any of that. Well, if I come here, so.
Wait, that had a prerequisites tab on it. Did you see that?
Yeah, right there. But what I'm getting at is I took screenshots when I was just going through all this to say, okay, some reference, yeah. So it's like, if I wanted to create a whole new extensibility project, how would I do that by myself? So you could actually go in here and say, make a V6 project, reference the analyzer project, and then just do these things. So I could do that.
Okay.
We could try this and just say, make a whole next...
Instead of trying to fix the old
one that's there, yeah.
Yep.
And because right here...
But I wonder if you just had an XML bracket issue when you pasted it into Notepad or something.
Doesn't look like it. It looks all correct.
Yeah, it does. All right, it was just a thought.
So we're going to do that. We're just going to... Back here. We're going to get rid of the project here. Let's get rid of this because I don't need that anymore. Go away. And we're going to come back here. And we're just going to say remove this. So I will come back to that. Let's build this now. It should all build. And let's run all the tests. Because let's see if that actually fails anything. I'm going to be pessimistic and say nothing's going to work. Look at that.
Well, you were your
close.
pessimism paid off. 21 passed.
I know why. I think I know why. Because, there is a lot of files here, if I remember. We don't need the packages config. Get rid of that. We don't need the app config. Get rid of that. These, if I remember right, no, I don't want to open the file. What I want to do is say build action. If I remember right, none of these you'd build.
And the new CS Proj is just
assuming,
finding these and assuming to compile them.
Right.
So why
for example,
why are they not compiled? What are they there for?
Let me explain for just a second here. So, So what I'm doing on my tests is I'm actually loading the code into a tree, and then I run the analyzers on them. If they were compiled as part of the project, I can't do that.
Okay. So you're actually loading the source file and essentially compiling it on the fly.
Yes. And the reason I do this in the test this way is so that when I'm actually creating the code that I could, on some projects I've done, I'll actually have just a C# snippet as a piece of string here. Arguably, this is a little klutzy. This is just an idea that I did. It works. And then I get all the nice highlighting here, like this.
Yep.
And so then I know what I'm trying to look for.
Right. There's some advantages to that.
Right.
Definitely. I don't see where it's klutzy.
Well, because of this, and then some other projects I've done, where I want to say I want to just have bad code there. then if you put it in as a CS project file, it kind of goes a little wonky.
But you should be able to exclude the whole folder, right?
Yes. I don't want to exclude it from the project, though.
No.
I want to
So
say...
you have to do this manually in the CS project file, I suppose.
Yeah, so what I want to do is I want to say build action, there's no build action to it, and copy always. That's what I want to do.
Right.
So now if I come back to this and I say, show me what that just did, is there a way to say to this include...
Yeah, I think you can do targets,
then
then
dot,
star star.
star star.
And it will recurse that whole folder.
So if Rocky is correct, she always is. Look at that. But no, it didn't do the C. This all should be... See, what I want to do is actually...
yeah.
But I want to say... I think what I want to do is say that.
Oh, that could be true. Yep.
So now if I come back here, it still doesn't.
Well, try it, though. I wonder if Visual Studio's properties window is just messed up.
Well, it's better. Still got some failures, but it's better.
Yeah, I think that change worked, right? Now it's something else that's...
Yes. Because now all the files are going into the directory, so now I can load them, and that works.
Mm-hmm.
The problem, though, is that, like this, the build action is none. This is... But that's interesting, because I'm no longer... compile remove. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I need to say up here, I think that.
I bet. Yeah, so now we're learning something new.
Yes. Now if I come over here, none, copy always. And if I look down at these, not open the damn file. See, I can say damn. That's...
Can you?
Like, use... I'm sure Camtasia has a bleep, so if I really want to say a bleep, none, copy always. So that's good. So now, if I clean, say run all tests, come over here. So this won't fix the ones that are failing, but it should be at least doing most everything right. So now it's just why are these failing? So let's look at one of them. Walk. Assert is not null fail. Great! And asserted that not null failed. That's awesome. Find, get, or read invocation walker test. Get walker. This is where it may get really bad. I bet it does all that. And then it does a new invocations walker. And that's using a syntax walker. Okay, so we're going to just... This may be one I'm going to have to clean up the tests on my own time before I commit all this. Which is sad because I can't get to the second thing to clean that up. But this probably will get really hairy. So
This is the quote-unquote fun of doing analyzers? Is that what this is?
Well, maybe. Let's go into here. And what I want to do is put in a breakpoint here. Walker containing find or get. And lazy is get. Is lazy get property. Walker containing type is indication of lazy get property. That doesn't look like a lazy. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We should be under debug, which we are. So let's run this test on our debugger. So this is what? Invocation expression. So it's invocating a lazy property. So I say 10. That's null. Why is that null? Model's fine. Get symbol. That's null too. Get symbol null. Symbol info is what I just did.
Sure, I'm glad there's some context in your head, because I'm looking at this and it's just like, what?
Well, this is interesting because this will actually fail. Oh no! Because this is my This is an extension method, I think. There we go. Yes. So it says if it's not null because it was null, so that it just returns all that. So this is a node. What I'm trying to find is if this is something from CSLA, and I'm saying if that invocation of a method is
one of the valid set of...
Yes.
Okay.
If it's actually if it's a business base and like I'm calling get property
interesting.
there.
So these are all the valid
Right.
combinations of
Yep.
helper methods.
Yeah, so if I find it, then I'm like, okay, then that's what I'm looking for. And for some reason now it's not working.
It's not getting the text out of there? Is that the thing?
It's not. If I come to this, it's not actually, like I get the model, and then I should say find the symbol information for that node. But for some reason, that's not working anymore. And I don't know why.
Like Microsoft changed something at the analyzer API level or something? Or
Maybe, but I would kind of doubt it, because this did work. I mean, all these tests up to this point have all worked.
When they were running in .NET Framework.
Yeah. Which I guess that would be easy to do. I mean, just to be... If I said here, target framework, and I said whether that for, 6.1? That would be...
Yep.
And now I said run all tests. Would they actually pass? I'm going to say no. I bet it's the same behavior.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Now, of course, like you said, I am curious just why they say this beta thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. That's just the workspaces. It really shouldn't matter. If I go like into no, that's not what I meant. If I go here and I say manage your Git packages, there should be there's updates. this, oh, they're saying 210. And now, okay, I could also update these as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. 1601 is already out there. But this is 15.9. So, you know what I mean? These are like the ones that should be coming for the 2019 version.
Yeah, and you don't have preview turned on, so these are real, right?
Right. So let's do this.
You know what you might do is do a Git Commit before you get too experimental, since space dash AM.
Right, space dash AM.
Yep, space, and then a single tick. Oh, and then your comment, whatever it is you're doing. No, because you want to say what you did already, right? Yep. Git commit -A does not make sense. What?
Pat, did you want dash AM or did you?
Paths. Oh wait, this is not in. Well, I don't even know how to do this if you're not running in Bash. Oh, yes. If you're in a Bash window, then that's a Linux switch. I don't know how to run Git in DOS or the command window or whatever people call
Well,
it.
what am I
nowadays.
supposed to be doing here?
You're doing a. Well, I guess we could do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't.
But what is it that I'm supposed to be doing?
We're committing your changes so that you can always roll back if you go down a bad road. Commit early and often.
Right, I get that.
Yeah, so this is just commit. The dash A part adds any changed files to the commit set, and the M part says I want to do a comment.
Okay.
So you could do it with a graphical tool if you want.
I could.
Or you could open a Bash window, because you have Git for Windows installed, I bet. Just type Bash. So you get Bash right there.
Okay.
And then go to the directory. So CD, that's weird. Nope. CD/M.
Jesus.
No, /. This is Unix. / and then your path, whatever your path is. It'll do tab completion. Yep. You might want to stop there and just hit return, then do it again, because you have spaces in your path names.
Oh.
The Unix world frowns upon that.
Okay.
Yeah, so now do the git commit -AM.
Fine, Jesus.
There we go. Now you can go do experimental crap, and at least you're...
Okay, so back to this.
Because you were going to update your references? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah. So if I go to this one first, this was installed, and there are these updates.
Mm-hmm.
But do I want to go to 210 right now? And do I want to go to 263? It's offering them, but that doesn't mean that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Well, I would figure the 263 is probably pretty safe, because that is a minor version. The 210, that's a bigger deal, right?
Arguably, yes.
Did they release a 2.9, though, if you do the drop-down?
Yeah, there is a 2.9.
That might be the safer bet.
And if I say, did that one, I have no confidence that this is actually going to fix
Right.
the issue. And then this would be arguably the same thing, which we would say that's fine. And then that goes away, and we'll say 2.9 here. No, yeah, 2.9.
You have 2.9 or 2.8?
Yeah,
I
it was
couldn't.
2.9. It was a minute. Now these test frameworks and SDK, the SDK I don't see why. The test frameworks, they wouldn't be fixing this. I just don't know if I should even update these.
Mm-hmm.
So
It seems like
I grabbed those from you.
change too many things at once, and then you don't know what you.
Right, I grabbed those from you, so I would assume that's what you have in your projects. So I'll still get 12 to fail. It's just going to take me a while to go, what was it that I was doing? And
yeah, so upgrading. At least you're not on a beta anymore, so that's exciting.
I always write code that should just be readable. So. Same kind of thing. So, well, we're at 37 minutes. So unfortunately, it's sad because there's just no way that this is gonna take me just sitting and looking at a screen for a while and going, what was the intent of what I was trying to do and why isn't it working right now? It's close. Unfortunately, I'm going to also have to ping you then when I finally get this all working because I have no idea what I did to even get this to commit now. I'm so confused with Git right now. So.
Well, you haven't pushed anything into the cloud. The commit was just local.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just like, I will not know what to do when I actually need to get this into your thing. So we're going to have to reconvene.
Reconvene. Well, we can do that.
And then I am hoping, I guess one last thing I'm going to do before we...
If you want, we can walk through and create a pull request. It'll fail. But I won't accept it because it's a bad pull request.
No, I'm not going to do that. So this said, I named type symbol is serializable. So if that's true, the thing I'm kind of curious about is not that. These are the targets. That's not what I want. I want test helpers. No. No. Test. Control S. I keep forgetting what that is. There we go. So if I come here, well, why are you... Stupid.
Microsoft wants you to use the mouse.
And they're not going to win. So I say that, and I say that. Okay, so I was kind of curious. Just indication is serial. Well, okay, well that's a method symbol. Method wouldn't be serializable. If I had even if this doesn't work, I don't care, as I type symbol, that's what it was? I name type symbol. But that they inherit from each other, so I is serializable. So that is true. So that's good.
So that has been resolved.
Right. There is now a property that I should be able to use to determine if something is serializable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end this because it's gonna get too long, and it's already 9:57, and I'm tired, and you're probably tired.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just gonna have to be me banging my head against the wall, going, "How do I get these tests to pass?" And to make them pass, I'll just delete the tests.
Put the ignore tag on them.
Yeah. Do you have a editor config yet for CSLA?
I do.
Oh, it is there now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
good.
created it. I think it's relatively short, and you put a work item in CSLA's backlog to extend it and make it cover all the things.
Yeah, because I thought you would actually.
But I did the important thing, like it's spaces, not tabs.
I thought you would.
Yeah, yeah.
And then style and then space. Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So there's a tool that you could use to figure that out.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Who created such a tool?
Well, there's a package I created, but Microsoft created this IntelliCode thing that allows you to create.
And it would do that for me too. Huh?
I think it would.
So I should just run it on my code base and get a super long editor config.
So get IntelliCode and then.
So that we need a new program. Another half hour right there.
No. No, I'm done. So I'm going to stop this right now. I will thank Rocky for coming along for the ride and mercilessly teasing me and making me use Bash because I have no idea what I'm doing. And in a future episode, I will hopefully have at least these two features finally fixed. So, am I actually even in the screen at this point? If I lean back so far, I don't even know. Oh yeah, I was. So
yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So thanks for watching.
Lean back.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.